1970s, Afton and his friend and business partner, Henry Emily, created the company Fazbear Entertainment and opened Fredbear's Family Diner. Henry designed, manufactured, and built 2 springlock suits called Spring Bonnie and Fredbear. He would also later create the 4 mini animatronic entertainers for Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, who would later become known as Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, while William would handle the business paperwork, management, and finances. In the building's first years, Afton would dress as Spring Bonnie, a springlock suit, which depicted a large yellow rabbit. He would wear it inside the pizzeria via using a hand crank that moved the inner spring locks of the suit away from his face, chest, arms, and legs, as not doing so would lead to his impalement inside the suit. He would often brag about how he could perform effortlessly while using it, being very proud and flamboyant as he did so. Some people claimed the character that he so loved to portray was more than alive than he was. One night in 1983, Henry's daughter, Charlotte Emily, was left outside the diner, and William seized the opportunity to kill her. Later that year, his younger son was accidentally killed by the older brother of his 2 sons, who had put his head in Fredbear's mouth to terrify him when the jaw clamped shut. 2 years later, around June 26, 1985, Afton would abduct and murder 5 children by luring them into a back room dressed as Spring Bonnie. When suspicion arose, he hid their corpses to avoid getting caught, luckily in the animatronics. The police would arrest Afton, but let him go due to lack of evidence in the bodies that were being found. This caused the spirits of the dead children to become vengeful and possess the animatronics to take revenge after the first location closed due to bankruptcy. William Afton left Fazbear Entertainment later, briefly returning once under an alias. Some years later, William would create the company Afton Robotics and set up a new location called Circus Baby's Pizzeria with a new cast of animatronics called the Funtime Animatronics. However, this location was shut down even before it opened due to a supposed gas leak. In reality, multiple children were sent into the building, and most, if not all, were subsequently murdered by the Funtime Animatronics. William's only daughter, Elizabeth Afton, was part of the group of children sent in and was killed by Circus Baby. Following this disaster, William would rebrand the restaurant into Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rentals, renting out the Funtime Animatronics to private parties. Many years later, Afton returned to the third establishment of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza when it had long been abandoned in order to destroy the classic animatronics for an unknown reason. Initially, it was thought he had done so out of paranoia. However, it has become hotly debated as to why, with some believing he was after the remnant, nothing less. This freed the spirits of the children inside, and they swarmed their killer. Physically unable to harm him, they chased and cornered Afton in the back room, where the same rabbit suit that he wore to kill them was left. He hurriedly put on the suit in order to fool them, forgetting it was damaged by rain and time at this point. Afton laughed at his victims, believing he was untouchable, and got away again. However, due to his shaky movements and moisture dripping down from the damaged roof, the spring locks of their costume failed, with Afton inside. Every part of his body was impaled and bludgeoned into pieces, and he dropped to the floor twitching in shock, where he lay, bleeding out and dying as the children passed away. Sometime after, the room was boarded up by an unknown person, presumably Henry Emily. Afton was left there to rot for the next 30 years, until sometime after his demise, Afton awoke, alone and decomposing, due to his iron will to live and the remnant in his suit. Afton was still alive, but permanently encased inside. In the year of 2023, he was found by the organizers of Fazbear's Fright and put inside the horror attraction based on the infamous past of the Freddy Fazbear brand. Now free, he abandoned his old identity and accepted his new form, calling himself Springtrap. Springtrap is a spring-locked suit containing Afton's mutilated face and body crammed inside. He stalked the guard at the horror attraction until the place caught fire, damaging Springtrap's appearance. The guard escaped, but left Springtrap inside. Eventually, the flames were extinguished, but he was nowhere to be seen. Later, Afton seemingly rebuilt himself out of scrap, turning into the abomination that is Scraptrap. Henry, seeing all the destruction women caused, decided to put an end to his legacy once and for all. With help from Michael Afton, William's son, he and multiple other animatronics were lured to a fake restaurant that was rigged to combust and burn down. The walls set to fall down and were to trap everything inside as the fire burned. After all of them were inside, Henry set the building on fire, berating Scraptrap, condemning him to the darkest pit of hell. Michael, finally at peace, allowed himself to be consumed by the flames, and so did Henry after apologizing to his daughter, held inside Lefty, who was Afton's first victim. Scraptrap is last seen frantically clawing at the closing door, locking him inside as he is devoured by the flames when the building collapsed. Little is known about Afton's fate after that point. Some speculate that Golden Freddy, possessed by a vengeful spirit, now harbors William's soul, tormenting him for eternity by forcing him to fend off the animatronics he and Henry created again and again, forever. Others possess that he, deservedly, is indeed now in hell, burning forever.
And I'll haunt your nightmares. Little did you know that I like fear. When you turn, I'll be right there. You should be afraid, you should be scared. Out of the darkness, out of the fear, here comes the monster waiting in there. Heart rate is rising, some call it scared. You'll feel the chill start raising your hairs. It's too late, you're here now. I hope that you're prepared, cause there's no getting out. You can feel the energy, dark like a cloud, electrified by panic, terror and doubt. Don't cross me or you'll learn quick the hard way that I'm not one to mess with. I got a mind and that mind's full of mean tricks. I'll plant a seed in your red where the fear will stick. And I'll haunt your nightmares. Little did you know that I like fear. When you turn, I'll be right there. You should be afraid, you should be scared. We're all alone, you're on your own. It's you and me who's going home. Look up, cause I'm right here. Welcome to a real life nightmare.
Deep within the abandoned Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, William Afton ran from the ghosts of his victims. He frantically put on his beloved spring bunny costume, the disguise he wore while committing his heinous crimes, to hide from the pursuing spirits. But fate had different plans for Afton. Something activated the spring locks within the spring bunny costume. Metal clamped against metal, piercing the murderer and trapping him in his costume. As he screamed, the checkerboard floor rose up to meet him, and everything went black. Thus was Springtrap born, from the death of a murderer. He awoke to a familiar sound, his body a pillar of agony. The ghosts that had been tormenting him were gone. The walls surrounding him were decomposing. The floor beneath him falling away in moldy patches. How much time had transpired since the spring locks tore through his body and fixed him within his costume? The urge to kill lingered within him still. The thirst long left unquenched. The sound filled his ears again. Children's laughter. Were children playing in the kitchen? Springtrap rose to his feet, adjusting to his new body, and marched towards the sounds. He picked up speed as he moved. Walking turned to running. He rushed into the kitchen and found nothing. No children, no games, no laughter, just a swirling mass of black fog enveloping the far wall. Springtrap examined the fog, curiosity tightening his grip on him. As he stared into the darkness, his distended eyes could see shapes emerge within the fog. Who were they? It didn't matter. They were his victims now. Somehow, he knew the hunt could go on forever. All he had to do was step into the fog.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed, thinking something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free. You know I'm addicted to you, and it's twisted, you've been gifted with the evil voodoo. Got me coming back for more, even when I've been screwed. Dolls full of pins, pierce my heart straight through. I got issues in my head, I like you in my bed, but you keep me on red. Oh, everything is like a test. I better not text or I'll come off desperate.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed, thinking something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
So if I play dead, will you regret everything that you did, that you said? I don't think you understand what you're doing, and my heart's black and blue from the bruising. I feel like when I'm with you I'm losing. I feel like you think that this amusing, sitting there gaslighting and confusing. Was it me? Is it me? Am I deluded? I'm the one who's always sorry, the conclusion, even though I offer all of the solutions. I wish you loved me like I love you, it's stupid. When I'm alone with you I never feel lucid. I wish I wasn't struck by Cupid. I wish when I first saw you I knew this. When I'm with you I feel so useless. I feel diluted, my heart's been wounded. Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, baby you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed, thinking something out of my nightmares. See me right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me? 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 Then will you get bored of killing me?
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you
First off, I just want to say thank you guys for sticking to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the Springtrap drawing and the lore that I dropped throughout the video. If you guys want to see more Five Nights at Freddy's content, go down, like, and subscribe, and more Five Nights at Freddy's content will be out shortly.